The 1930s. A Chinese Buddhist monk is walking on a chain bridge at Zhangyu Figure Hill Temple in China. A little French girl gives an American soldier a kiss on Valentine's Day, 1945. Sunning chair. In 1964, a 10-year-old named Marn Smith came up with an easy way to avoid a crick in your neck after lying outside for a tan. In the USA, the first playground opened in New York's Central Park in 1906. Looks like a picture of two drunken women fighting on a rooftop in London around 1902. A classroom is almost empty because white students won't go to their school after it was desegregated. This was in New York in 1964. Southwest Airlines flight attendant, 1972. Ivan Babcock, from the U.S. Army's 165th Signal Photo Company, is posing with the crown of the Holy Roman Empire. They're in a cave in Siegen, Germany in 1945. This is a spank from the 1910s. A 20-mule team pulled a farm combine. This was in Walla Walla County, Washington in 1941. It's Americana. Using a canvas tarpaulin for a church and packing cases for an altar, a Navy chaplain holds Mass for Marines at Saipan. The service was held in memory of brave buddies who lost their lives in the initial landings, 1944. The last photo taken of Hachiko on March 8, 1935. Hong Kong in the 1950s. Moscow, 1954. We're looking at some papier-mâché heads from the First World War. Two recently divorced women are enjoying their time on a divorce ranch in Nevada. "18-year-old Keshia Thomas protects a fallen man. He was believed to be associated with the Ku Klux Klan. She was protecting him from an angry mob of anti-Klan protesters. This took place in Ann Arbor, Michigan, United States, in 1996, and was taken by Mark Bruner. Daredevil Jamie Reynolds shows off his skills around 1912. A Kenyan woman is with a fawn in Mombasa, 1909. A person is roller skating to class at the University of Chicago in 1930. Henry Ford received the Grand Cross of the German Eagle from Nazi officials in 1938. Billy the Kid, wearing a top hat, is with his gang members Fred Waite, Henry Brown, and Dick Brewer in 1777 New Mexico. There's a French radiographer, and he's wearing his protective gear. It's 1918. The Minsky Carnival showgirls are competing in a 1949 spaghetti swooshing contest. The Albertina Rash girls cast a long, alluring shadow on the floor. February 14th, 1933. They are appearing in Wild Violets in Drury Lane. A Couple at a Fair in Mexico, 1940. All right, so here's a description of thylacine cubs at the Hobart Zoo in Australia from 1909. Drexel Institute Girls Rifle Team, Philadelphia, USA. Jacques Biederer, who's known as the first photographer to specialize in erotic imagery, captures an intimate and artistic thing in his Paris studio. This was in Paris, 1928. English communists are marching in London in 1936. Investor Walter Thornton is trying to sell his car for $100 right after the United States stock market crashed in 1929. Nuclear detonation test at 3 millionths of a second in the 1950s. (1920) Here's an asylum patient with his doll. The Panjandrum. It was a rocket-propelled metal wheel armed with explosives. World War II. Albert Einstein is giving a lecture on the theory of relativity in 1922. There was a fashion show on board the New York, New Haven, and Hartford Railroad's show train in 1949. A mother watches as her 7-month-old child is baptized into the Klan. This happened on Long Island, New York, on July 4th, 1927. Broadway, New York, 1952. There's a stripper at the Samoa Club in New York in 1950. The world's last commercial ocean-going sailing ship, the Pamir, rounding Cape Horn in 1949. It's a cemetery on the Day of the Dead in Oaxaca, Mexico, in 1940. The picture's been mistakenly called a mental institution in Russia during the 1950s. Actually, it shows German ballerinas stretching their calf muscles in 1977. There are special holes in the wall for them to step on. Here's the picture phone from Bell Telephone, 1964. Mark Twain, who was 24 years old. The first TV set, called Octagon, was made by General Electric in 1928. It's a bookmobile, and it's 1943. It's surrounded by children. Animators draw a deer from life on the Disney Studio lot, 1942. There are two young boys. They're studying. There's a human skull. Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis, 1935. A portable radio, inside a straw hat, was made by an American inventor. It was made in the United States of America in 1931, though the exact place is unknown. The Wild West set sail from New York to London in 1899. This publicity photo is from Charlie Chaplin's 1921 movie, The Kid. It marks Chaplin's first full-length movie. Free Air and Free Advice in Kern County, California, 1938. Time for Sleepy, 1940. Queen Elizabeth's love of horses has been well documented. At 93, she even still rides. And that affection for the equestrian sports started early. Here she is trotting along during the 1930s. Child laborers worked in glass and bottle factories in Indiana in 1908. Vasily Arkhipov played a pivotal role during the Cuban Missile Crisis. He made the crucial decision to withhold consent for launching a nuclear torpedo in response to the U.S. dropping depth charges. April 1942, an aircraft construction class. The flame of welding torches has replaced the soft lights of a nightclub in Daytona Beach. Otto Victorla in the Chemical Laboratory, 1941. Churchill in 1900, around the time of his first election to Parliament. The swing set, childhood. Boys Will Be Boys, American Soldiers with a Captured Panzerschreck, 1944. In 1917, Elsie Wright and her cousin Frances Griffiths took photos with the Cottingley ferries in the village of Cottingley near Bingley in West Yorkshire. It was one of the greatest hoaxes of the 20th century. A soldier comes home from war in the 1940s. He's standing with his family. There's a woman. She's hugging him. A young girl is smiling. Another woman is holding a young boy. They're all very happy. Adam West playing Batman around 1967. The Antonov A-40 was a Soviet experimental aircraft. It was a glider, and it was designed to be towed behind a bomber. Its wingspan was a little over 69 feet. The first flight happened in 1942. There are two Native American elders. They're dressed in traditional clothing, and they're talking about policy with a member of President Coolidge's staff. Albert Einstein is having fun at the Grand Canyon. He's wearing a casual suit and hat. There is a group of people standing nearby. The sky is blue. It looks like a beautiful day. The Grand Canyon is really big. Wow, a spectacular avalanche. It happened on February 10th, 1903, and it swept away part of a trestle. The trestle was 300 feet high and allowed Northern Pacific Railway trains to descend from this pass since 1890. Photographer Jack Riley, he's prancing around the 74-story tall Bank of Manhattan. This was while it was under construction in 1929. In the 1890s, women's bathing suits were quite different. The typical suit included a long-sleeved top, often reaching to the neck. The bottom was a skirt that extended to the knees. They also wore stockings and bathing shoes. Anesthesia is dripped onto a cone. The cone is held over the nose and mouth of a soldier during the American Civil War. Before this, a doctor amputates the man's leg. This happened around 1861 to 1865. The beauty micrometer, or beauty calibrator, was invented by Max Factor in 1930. A guest at a trailer park in Sarasota, Florida, is standing beside her garden in the 1940s. April 1942. In DeLand, Florida, there's a machine shop pool. It's an aircraft construction class. These carefree high school students are learning the serious business of war production in a Daytona Beach vocational school. It's located in a revamped nightclub. They were at war. In 1859, they were trying to come up with a way to destroy a friendship. The idea was to take a person's name, along with the name of the person they were friends with, and write them on a piece of paper. Then, they had to bury it in the ground. It had to be done at night, and no one could know about it. They thought that would delete the friendship. The Empire State Building, with other buildings in the background, as it appeared in 1941. This is about the last Russian Tsar, Nicholas II, and his cousin, the King of England, George V, in 1913. Imagine a vending machine stocked with Campbell's soup sometime in the 1950s. An elementary school class is taking an imaginary trip to the moon. This is in Lincoln, Nebraska, in 1966. A group of Ku Klux Klan members lead their children through a parade. This would have been sometime between 1912 and 1930. Let's talk about the Taco Bell menu from 1973. The menu included a taco for 39 cents, a burrito for 49 cents, a supreme taco for 59 cents, a supreme burrito for 79 cents, a chili cheese burrito for 69 cents, a guacamole salad for 49 cents, and a taco salad for 89 cents. They also offered cinnamon crisps for 25 cents, and a side order of cheese and chips for 39 cents. For drinks, you could get a Pepsi for 20 cents and a hot coffee for 20 cents. July 21st, 1932. Children are playing a game of leapfrog near Millwall docks, under the bowsprit of the schooner Penang. The year is the 1930s. Grandma patching the only pants of her grandson, 1907. Mardi Gras revelers in New Orleans, Louisiana, 1938. Harrison Ford, when he was a carpenter, building Sergio Mendes's recording studio in 1970. A gentleman tips his hat to a group of ladies sometime in the 1920s. Two Cub Scouts are taking part in Operation Shoeshine, 1972. An actress in Cholon, Saigon in 1900. People of Hanoi wait in chest-deep sidewalk shelters for the all-clear signal during an air raid alert. Hanoi, North Vietnam, 1967. It's a bird's-eye view of New York, and everyone in the city is wearing a hat. This was in 1939. In 1911, the wreck of the Arden Craig off the Isles of Scilly west of Cornwall. A 15-year-old Teddy Roosevelt sporting some already impressive chop. A child is feeding an alligator. Lieutenant Colonel Robert L. Sturm is reunited with his family after being taken prisoner during the Vietnam War. Secret Service agent Clint Hill jumps aboard the presidential limo to act as a protective shield for John F. Kennedy, moments after the gunshot that took the president's life on November 22, 1963, in Dallas, Texas. Billingsgate Fish Market, London, 1950s. January 1943, Engine Company No. 4 in Washington, D.C. When the gong sounds the alarm,